So you finally got that truck. You got a good warranty with it. But I'm here to tell you, here's some of the repairs that you are going to have the first year. That's not a matter of if you have them, you're going to have them. Buying a truck is exciting. It's nerve-wracking, it's exciting, there's all sorts of neat things that go on. But there's a lot of maintenance that's going to have to happen, especially if you buy a used truck. Now, it's like, well, I'll buy a new truck. Okay, you spend $174,000, get the great PACCAR warranty. The problem with the new truck is that while everything's covered under warranty for the most part, the truck will have to get sorted out as you put more miles on it. So you're going to have things fail and things that need to get fixed. And the one thing you're going to learn incredibly fast is that everything has a service life. There are things that need to be changed at 250,000 miles. There's things that need to be changed at 100,000 miles. There's things that get changed at 500,000 miles. And you have to stay on top of those if you want your truck in tip-top shape. And those things take money. And they take time out of your day. But I've always said that if you're going to have to spend the money anyways, do it on your terms. Don't let the truck dictate when you get things fixed. One of the things that's pretty common practice when a company will trade in a truck is if the tires are good, they will swap them out with some ones that are old, might have maybe some summer tread left. You're not going to get good tires on a used truck. And if they put brand new tires on it, there's a good chance they're just a cheap set of Ironmans or something like that that might get you through the next 8 months, but there's a good chance that you're going to need a set of tires within 6 to 8 months. That's just what it is. I went through that on this truck. I bought this truck, and the more I got to looking at the tires and the way they were wearing funny, I realized that this whole set of drives was not from this truck. I don't know who it was, whether it was a former company or the dealership, and I'm inclined to believe it was the former company that owned this truck. They took the tires off, swapped them out with one of their company trucks that needed tires, and sent this one down the road. So that's something that you're going to have to do within the first year. Also, one of the things you're going to do within your first year is you're going to be doing a set of brakes. Everybody does. I did that in my first year, and I'm going to do that. I got to do that on this truck. A set of brakes. You're going to blow some airbags. You're going to have at least one airbag go out. I always recommend changing them in pairs because you got that axle down. Why not? It's just good preventive maintenance. It's been my experience when I change one at a time, within a month, for some reason, the other one starts leaking. So I always just change them a pair at a time. And airbags are fairly inexpensive, and it's good preventive maintenance. If you got the guy down there doing it right now, he's going to charge you the same shop rate to do one versus both. And they're about a 20-minute job. And you can do them yourself if you're competent. And you feel confident enough to do it. So between your airbags and your brakes, those are things you're going to change your first year. Probably some cab airbags on top of it for your sleeper. So that's one thing. The one thing that I've come to discover about buying a used truck is that most of the maintenance, especially on fleet trucks, not so much on owner-operator trucks, it's hit and miss on an owner-operator truck. But on a fleet truck, most of the maintenance has been deferred. Now you're going to say, hey, these trucks were maintained by a quality company. No. When they say that, that means that if a big warranty thing came up, they got it fixed. But truthfully, in my experience and people that I've talked to, mechanics and whatnot, most of these companies don't want to take the time out to even have the recall work done. So when you buy a used truck, make sure that all the recalls have been taken care of and everything's good to go before you drive it out of that lot. What I have learned when buying a used company truck, like I said, the maintenance is deferred, is that what a lot of these companies are doing is, if the emission system has a problem, there are sensors that are supposed to be changed out at $250,000, $250,000. These companies will put $350,000, $400,000, maybe $420,000, and then before the manufacturer's warranty's out, they trade it off. But a lot of times, especially with these emission systems now, the filters are supposed to be changed out at $250,000, some of them. You have all these different components that need to be changed out and cleaned, and what I have found is that a lot of these companies, they just go in, especially if they do their own warranty work, they just clean out the codes, put it through a hard regen, and send it back on the road. It took 2 hours instead of 2 days. And then every time a problem pops, they just tend to clean it out and send it going, because they've only got to have the truck for 50 or 60,000 more miles. That's 6 months. They're only going to have the truck for 6 more months, and they're going to shove it down the road. So if you buy a truck with 500,000 miles on it that was an old fleet truck, there was probably 15 to 20 drivers in that truck on the average, depending on which company it came from. And most of the maintenance has been deferred. They kept it running. That was what they did. You're going to find half the recalls haven't been done. The factory warranty shot, and you're stuck with a truck. But you're like, hey, I got a third-party warranty. They sold me a warranty with the truck. I spent $6,000 on this warranty. Yeah, I made that mistake too. What I'm holding in my hand is my warranty, and I'm going to cover up the name of it so I don't get in trouble. But it has 1 page of definitions and coverage. First month, 24 months, or 220,000, whichever occurs first. Engine components, $300 deductible. Transmission components, $300 deductible. Rear differential components, $300 deductible. Now, every one of these has a limit. Contract engine repair limit, 15 grand. Contract transmission repair limit, 7,500. Diff repair, 75. Power pack, 75. After treatment, 8. 8,000 won't fix this. These systems routinely cost $17,000 to $20,000 to fix if you have to replace the entire system. That's why these big companies defer the maintenance. Now, the next page is exclusions and limitations except listed in the contract. So I got this, and so far it is, out of the $6,600 that I spent on the warranty, they have actually paid about $465. That's been it. Third-party warranties, from everything I've been finding out, are worthless. In fact, when I read this, I'm starting to realize just how worthless it really was, because it covers partial things. It's like going to the dentist, where they cover 10% of this and 20% of this and a portion of that. Well, why do you have the warranty, or why do you have insurance if it's not covering anything? So third-party warranties, unless you buy a new truck or one that's still under factory warranty and you can extend that warranty out, do it. If it's a third-party warranty, I wasted my money. I wasted $6,600 that I could have put towards a down payment on the truck. So that's something to keep in mind. There's people that'll tell you, no, any warranty is better than no warranty. This is any warranty, and I might as well have had no warranty. So are you willing to gamble $6,600? Or I've heard they've gone up. They're closer to $7,000 to $8,000 now. Are you willing to gamble that? The one thing that you're going to have to do the first year you have your truck, and I recommend having the dealership do this before you pick it up, is have the overhead done. It doesn't matter if it's got 300,000 miles or if it's got 500,000. especially if it has $500,000. If they don't have actual documentation that the overhead's been done, have it done. I learned my lesson on that, because popping that valve cover off will tell you a lot about the history of that engine. I put it off with my very first truck, and had I taken it off, I would have noticed some abnormalities, and I would have saved myself a lot of money. Consequently, because I put it off, or I allowed people to talk me out of doing it, just trying to be a good guy and be a team player. That was $10,000. I had to do a new cam. There was the thrust washer was bad. I had to do rods and mains, 2 rockers, and a Jake arm. And the reason we had to do rock and mains, along with a new oil cooler, now never mind the fact the oil cooler was 8 months old because it had already gone out, was because that camshaft had put so much oil into the engine that, it had put so much metal into the engine that there was no way you'd ever get it out. You cannot clean an oil cooler out enough to get all the metal out. It's better it's a cheap part, throw it out, put a brand new one on. The rods and mains, we pulled a rod and main off to make sure there was no metal in there. You could see the streaks. Yeah, so I was out a lot of money due to buying a truck that had the maintenance deferred, and me not being prudent to jump on it. So that's one of the other things you're going to have to take care of. If you have a truck with an after treatment system, it's going to take a crap on you. There's no way around it. It's going to crap. You're going to, within the first month or two, you're probably going to start popping codes. Everybody does who buys a used truck. It's just, now Google's been great. It lets me know what the code is and lets me know how serious it is. But these trucks do have some ghost codes in them that come and go, and it's important to learn what they are. But within the first year, you're going to replace either two to three sensors. You're going to have to get something cleaned. There's going to be some maintenance because you're catching up on all that maintenance that wasn't done. Now, the one touchy thing I'm going to talk about right now, and I'm only going to spend a minute on it because I don't like arguing about this, is when it comes to these emission systems, people are like, oh, I'll just delete it. You know, deleting is a great way to get around a lot of the maintenance, and there's no long-term effects with it. But, and this is the big but, there are heavy fines coming. The EPA has already said that. I will not argue with somebody that deleting an engine isn't the best thing to do. I think it is. It keeps the oil cleaner, the truck runs more efficient, the fuel mileage goes up, and the maintenance is just better. However, states are broke, and eventually they're going to start enforcing these laws, and I've been a firm believer that it's not going to be the semis that kick it off. It's going to be the guys deleting their pickup trucks, and they, deleting these new diesel pickup trucks is big business right now, and so it's something to keep in mind. Now, if you choose to delete your semi truck, any warranty that you had, gone. Most of the shops will not work on your truck. You'll have to find a shop that will. It's not that hard, but you're going to pay for it. And I highly recommend not deleting the truck until it's paid for, or at least until you know you can completely pay for it. The only other problem you're going to have is if you go to trade it in, nobody will take it. And if they do take it, they're going to give you flat bottom dollar. So you kind of take your future in your own hands if you delete your truck. I'm not here to debate the merits of whether it's good or bad. I'm just going to tell you this is what you can expect. And the EPA has said multiple times that you can expect full enforcement of deleted trucks here in the next year or two. They're broke, they need money, and this will be a cash cow for them. The fines are big, so this is something to keep in mind. Also, there's a good chance that you're going to be replacing every filter in the thing. I'm talking clean air filters underneath the dash and in the sleeper. You're going to be replacing your air filter. You're going to be replacing every filter under the engine, of course. You know, and that's just general maintenance. But if you start having a lot of issues, there's a good chance you're going to be replacing your catalyst filter, your DEF filter, and that can get expensive. So I recommend, when you buy a truck, used or not, have the ECM downloaded, have a competent mechanic look at it, get a list of the last 10 high pressure burns for your, and then see if the filter's clogged or not. That'll tell you a lot. And basically have the truck gone over by a competent mechanic. Have them look at the maintenance. You need to look at the maintenance history and the ECM download. And if you take the ECM download to a Cummins dealer and have them go through it, chances are he's going to tell you if that's a good truck or not, or if there's any warranty work that hasn't been done on it, recalls and whatnot. Be prudent. I've touched on a lot of stuff here in a very short amount of time. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's your decision. Whether you want to buy a brand new truck with a factory warranty, and if you can afford to do that, by all means. I mean, it's great. You know, me and a mechanic friend of mine were talking today that a lot of these why you're seeing so many old trucks still on the road is because these new trucks were not built to go past the factory warranty. They were made to be driven in one company, maybe 500,000 miles, and discarded. And it's just, they're at the point where cars were back in the 90s. Last 4 or 5 years, throw them out and get another one. But at the end of the day, if you really do your homework, you can find a good quality used truck. And if you don't have a budget for a brand new truck, this is what you have to do. You have to find somebody reputable. But I'm here to tell you that it's going to cost you money, no matter what. I had a truck that was paid off, and I remember thinking, you know, I'm spending enough on maintenance right now that I could be saving this money and towards truck payments with a truck with a warranty. So I knew I was coming up on some pretty big repairs. The truck had a lot of miles on it. My last truck had a lot of miles on it. Guy offered me a great trade-in, and I would have been stupid not to take it. He gave me a lot of money on the trade-in, probably $10,000 more than I thought I was going to get. Traded it off, got a new truck, and then when I did my taxes this year, I realized I'd spent the exact same amount on maintenance and repair that I did on the last truck, and I had truck payments. So did I really come out ahead? Some ways yes, a lot of ways no. But you live and you learn, and that's why I'm here. So hopefully you guys don't make the same mistakes I did. But like I said, at the end of the day, this is 100% your decision. If you are nervous and you think that third-party warranty is worth it, buy it. Me personally, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it at all. I wasted my money. But, you know, that was this truck. So, I hope this video has been informative. It's not going to be terribly long, and that's fine. It was just something that was on my mind, and I wanted to share my experiences with buying and what you can expect your first year, because you're not going to get off scot-free your first year. You're going to end up replacing everything that the last owner didn't want to do. That's just the way of the world. And you're not going to know what those things are until they happen. But if you get on a maintenance routine and you fix things when they're supposed to be fixed at the intervals that they're supposed to be fixed at, you're going to minimize your breakdowns, which will happen. But you'll minimize your breakdowns quite a bit, because you should never wait for the truck to break before you fix something. If you know something needs to get fixed, fix it on your time, like I said. Don't let the truck dictate. You're the boss. You dictate when the truck gets fixed. So I appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next video.